We're heading back to the golden age of Les Pauls. I'm going to tell you the difference between a 57 and a 58. Let's go. When it comes to the Hall of Fame of guitars, there's certainly a few that pop into people's minds. I'm thinking like the 1952 Telecaster and 1960s Stratocaster, and of course the 1959 Les Paul. But we're not here to talk about those today. We're here to talk about the two previous years before that. A couple of my favourite sort of like, I guess like, looks into Gibson's history are those 2 years, because you can kind of see them working out what they wanted. And I guess that's why they landed on such a Hall of Fame guitar such as the 1959, because they'd really figured it out by that point. But there's a couple of things with the 1959 and the 1958 Les Paul that I would say that I actually prefer to the 59. So let's have a look in and see exactly what they are. So I guess we'll start with the older one, and that is the 1957. This lovely, lovely gold top here, which I think I'm getting a bit of an affinity for right now, considering we just got so many of them delivered, actually. This was the perfect opportunity to get a few out, and actually, I've got a couple of identical 1957s that are different weights. We're going to do a video on if weight actually makes a difference to the tone. You can click above my head when that is uploaded and you can check that out. But we're to look into this guitar here. There's no mistaking that sound. It's a full-blooded Les Paul. Let's throw some distortion on and get that kind of sound that we had at the start. That's about as red-blooded Les Paul as it really gets, to be fair. So if sound's not different, then what is? The most kind of glaring difference that you're going to probably see with these older Les Pauls is that they've actually got quite a chunky neck on them. Now this is going to be something that will maybe put off players who do prefer that kind of skinnier neck. And I mean, if I'm going to reference it to anything, we've got this Gibson New Collection standard 60s that we've used in the video room for probably coming on years now. And this has got quite a skinny neck on it compared to certainly that. Like a lot of people I think do consider like these Les Paul necks to be a little bit wider than, if you're used to like a Strat or something like that. But yeah, that's the one you want. That's a big, chunky kind of baseball bat. You can really get your hand around the neck there as well, which for me, that's a personal preference, and that's actually exactly the same on the 1958 as well, so you don't need to choose which neck you do prefer. Now, the other glaring difference is going to be the actual look of the guitar. 1957, gold top. 1958, plain top. That's kind of as much as you really need to know at that point. So this is obviously, you're getting into your Ice-T territory, you get into those kind of classic Les Paul colours with the 1958, whereas with this 97, the 57, you are only getting a gold top, certainly with this, but it does have that really nice dark back on it as well, which I think just complements it really, really well. Cleans in a Les Paul always surprise me. I'm always quite like taken aback by how much I actually do enjoy those cleans, especially when you start to mess in the tone and the volume controls with that as well, because that's actually one thing that I find really important about these guitars, and it's, funnily enough, it's something that we learned when our good buddy Jared James Nichols had come over and done a couple of clinics with us. You can check out those videos just above my head as well. But of course, as a Les Paul player, and actually as usually a single pickup Les Paul player as well, Jared kind of relies on his volume and his tone to really shape his sound. And of course, with these, they are the orange drop capacitors in both of the guitars. You get so much scope with them, and actually, you know, cleans out a Les Paul is fun. But let's get back to that distortion, because there is actually like quite a lot of tonal, like, as I said, variation that happens with it. But I mean, just check this out. I'm going to stick on as much distortion as I can. I'm going to go into my neck. We're going to get that nice, like, kind of woolly sort of like, you know, Les Paul neck pickup sound. But like, listen to it when I actually engage the tone control there as well, because it will drastically change the sound. See how much that just absolutely changes, and actually, I don't know if it's a bit of a subconscious thing as well, but that does change the way that I play when it actually comes to this guitar. So the whole kind of mission statement of this video was, what's the difference between a 57 and a 58? There's only really a couple of, certainly with a couple of differences with the newer models that are coming out of the custom shop. Because we're to talk about the actual vintage ones, then next were all done by hand. There's probably obviously all the pickups and what were all wound by hand and everything. So there's going to be drastic changes with those kind of classic models. But the main takeaways for these new models, and particularly these two guitars that we have got with the plethora of other ones that arrived with us, which you can check by clicking the link in the description to take you to our website. With a 57, you got a gold top. You got unpotted Alnico 3 pickups in there with that chunky C neck, with the vintage tall 22 frets on there. And then on the 58, we've got a plain top with a choice of colours, with, again, the same frets, the same neck, the same tuners, all that good stuff. One's a dark back, one's a red back. That's kind of another thing to really take into consideration as well. But hopefully this has cleared things up for you, especially if you've been looking at these two maybe not so famous years. Definitely I would say that they are particularly famous in the lifespan of the Les Paul, but they're certainly no 59, and I don't really know why. So let me know down in the comments if you're a fan of either of those years, or, you know, against the 59. Let me know why as well while you're down there, and while you're giving me that comment, give us a like, give us a subscribe, because you can keep up with all the latest news at Guitar HQ. And you can hear about all these brand new Les Pauls that are just arriving with us as well, which is awesome. But until next time, I've been Kieran, and hopefully this has cleared up for you what the difference between a 1957 and a 1958 Les Paul are. Have a great day.